show me. Okay, it does. Hello, DGen. Hello, Maven. Hello, Dave. Hello, Hyde. Mark B. Is this the right screen? Yeah, this is the right screen. What's up, Fig Tune? If I pronounced it correctly. Okay, one sec. I just recorded my my trading strategy for the new Wealth Group website, so that should come out somewhere the next month or so, I guess, or in the next 2 months. I don't know when exactly the website's live, so I was just sorting that out. For BTC, well, not much changed from yesterday. We're still in this 114, 115k demand zone. We bounced a little bit yesterday, had a good bounce, got rejected off this 117k region once again. Tried to somewhat form a bull div and just got rejected again after New York Open today. So that just tells us, well, bears in control. Very likely will tap 112k at least. Although while I was making this trading video, which I just said, I also noticed something very interesting, which is this 3 daily untapped demand. And maybe it will be useful that if this selling accelerates to play some sting bids in this 109k region. Because if you look on the daily, in general, this is also untapped demand. So maybe what we can do here, if some panic breaks out, is a trap below a previous range high, around 110, and then a reclaim, and then a move to hopefully 118, 120, whatever. And that's where we then look for shorts again, I think, personally. Yeah, the website is live, but the videos aren't. Well, not all of them, I believe. So that's a bit what I'm looking at here for BTC. I still would have liked if we just tried to go for 118, 117 here to load back up on shorts, but that didn't really happen. We didn't really have the strength for that. Would it be good to enter a short here? I mean, it depends on which coin you're talking about. I wouldn't blindly bottom short BTC here on a red candle. I think you should always, well, speaks for itself, but you short green candles and long red candles. I read an article about it from Insilico the other week, and he said that he changed his candle colors to the opposite side because it was easier for him to then figure out when to long and when to short. Like he basically did this. Because like the higher you go, the more you would like to sell, right? Or you should want to. And the lower you go, the more you should want to buy. That was his like thought process behind it, which is, if you think about it, quite smart. Something to consider. You want to short ETH here? I mean, if you wanted to short ETH, to be honest, this This H4 retest kind of was your short. Because once again, you're just gonna short a red candle here. Whereas if there's some baboon shorting this low and it forms a triple div, then you'll just get caught with your pants down. And also ETH's been one of the stronger coins, so if anything, you don't want to be shorting ETH so much. You want to be shorting the weaker coins. Let me record as well, by the way. You don't want to short ETH, I think. Much rather would short like, I don't know, Fartcoin maybe, but that's also on support. I was looking at Fartcoin earlier and I really, really, really want a short on it. It's kind of breaking down here. It just swept this low. Like this is like if you zoom out on it on the daily, ideally it deviates here and forms a bottom and at least tries and go back to 113. Or it's going back to like 50 cents. A lot of vaults look like this, SPX as well. Which is a bit annoying, right? A solid supporter, can we go much lower? Um, I mean, Sol is on support, basically. That's not my Sol chart. This is. But it's also just like, it has been very weak compared to the rest of the market ever since January, in my opinion. Like, if it doesn't hold here, it likely goes back to this small region here. I don't know, it's in a super clean downtrend right now. You see? Capped. Here again, capped. Like what I want to see across the board to like confidently long is not like this slow selling and instead just a very aggressive sell off. And then you can potentially long for some mean reversion and then see where you end up after that mean reversion. But as it stands right now, I think you really just want to wait for BTC to do a retest higher and then load up on short zone WeGolds and probably long ETH beta stuff. How quick sentiment changes? Yeah, it's crazy. I saw an interesting post yesterday though that said like if your all-time high target for BTC is 140, which is let's say 10% from current all-time high, why would you be risking it and long holding alts right now? Will that 10% make that much difference? And I had that same thought a couple months ago where we were when we were at like 105k or whatever. I was like, okay, we're probably going to have somewhat of a local top around 125. Do I want to risk holding alts beyond that? Like, does the RR make sense here for me to swing trade alts? Or do I want to switch to a very defensive scalping mode that will maybe lose me a 5 to 10% move on my spot gains if we go higher? That's if. But it will save me a 10 to 20% drawdown if I just wait and am patient for a bit now and just scalp in the meantime on a smaller or on a new account just to stay active. I'm kind of thinking I fumbled selling my ETH above 4.5k. But you sold. Yeah, I also think we'll have another bounce um, for sure. So that's the good thing. But from a, I think it's good to have this conversation with yourself sometimes where you're thinking like, does it make sense for me to hold my alts beyond this point? Do I really need that extra 5 to 10%, or do I want to switch defensive and preserve my capital and potentially scalp more? I think that's a question you should always ask yourself, especially as we are in the third year of the cycle. Well, fourth actually, no? Third. Let's say third. Going into the fourth soon. Yeah, that's true. Because the cycle has been super rotational, super extractive. Um, Everything is industrialized. And what I mean by that is that launching meme coins has become so industrialized that the playbook is just super. Everyone knows the playbook, right? Okay, you launch a meme coin, you pump it to 100 million or to 500 million. Exchanges start listing it. You get your exit pump from exchange listings. And after it's listed on all the big exchanges, what's left for a meme coin, right? Not much, because it doesn't have a use case. And I think people realize that, well, maybe not realize, but I think that became super clear after we've got listed on Robinhood. Because like what else is beyond that? Get it listed on the sphere? That doesn't do anything, does it? Yeah, you cannot buy and hold anything. There also hasn't been like any. Man, I hate to be such a doomer every fucking stream, but the reality is just that we're very close to the end of the cycle, so I can be sitting here and scream like, okay, alt season. But yeah, the thing is, there hasn't been any crazy innovation either. Like, yeah, we had Hyperliquid, which had good tech, but beyond that, all the L1 trades, like all the L1 premium, which we had last cycle from Sol, Luna, AVAX, compared to ETH, it's gone because there's so many L1s launching that it's so diluted. So something needs to change the next cycle, I guess. Maybe the suits will start gambling on our altcoins. Maybe that will help. It's definitely much more a trader's market. And I think if you accept that fact, then you can make a lot of money because there is a lot of volatility, right? You can trade this to either side. I'm not saying you should only short, but it is a trader's market, and every 5% you make today is good. You don't only need to make these 5x runners. Yeah, JP Morgan is gonna buy my, yeah, I cannot say that first word, but yeah, they're not. Yeah, I don't think hype's going to 100 either. Like I think that's there's a very small chance hype goes to 100. Now, while I'm being bearish here again, some alts are bouncing a little bit while BTC is not doing much. If we can hold this daily and sort of like close above 115, that would be somewhat okay. I also kind of missed days where we would just fully cascade now, go to 109K and get it over with instead of slow selling down. Like just run my stops already. 78th. Biggest alpha I can give that I've seen and felt and analyzed is if I took TP every time I thought I'm gonna swing something, I'd be a lot richer. Yeah, this is true. I've noticed this with myself as well. When you start calculating your PNL, it's fucking over. What will my PNL be if coin XYZ goes to 69? We pump June, July. What do you mean, chat? What's Hype doing actually? Actually, it's holding up alright. It dumped earlier this morning and then it had a nice bounce, to be fair. Like it's still just holding this very big, very crucial zone on it. Coming back from vacation. Spend a bit too much on vacation, now I need to sell my coins. Shouldn't have gone to Mykonos. Hype looks alright. Hype usually tends to be like a little bit stronger than the rest of the market whenever it's like in this choppy mode. I noticed at least. Age for closing 40. Probably we bounce again after the stream. We always do on Tuesday. Whenever we sell off during the stream, we bounce like straight after it ends. I'm just saying August is going too slow to repump in June and July. End of Q3 will be bullish. Um, yeah, I think we have another move in September for sure. But I also think near the end of September, mid-September to end of September, early October, we probably cycle top. I'm willing to take a bet for that on that. Thoughts on Ondo? Sorry, I missed your message, Degen. Okay, wait. I wanna. Maybe I wanna buy hype. If we get like a big lick move down. It's probably gonna do something like this, and not move at all, and then it does this. Like it did here. Like H4 looks alright as long as it holds 42. Do I want to buy this blindly? I don't know if I want to buy this blindly. Hourly looks alright. I don't know. I'm too undecided here, to be honest. As for on though, um, I don't know. It looks not great. Free daily basically tells me it could go to 70 cents here. When does it close? On Wednesday. I don't know. This can cool off until here at least. And then potentially move lower depending on if it bounces. But yeah, I don't know. Does Ondo have a product or not? Uh, but Ondo definitely had its run already earlier in the cycle. Like this was its cycle top basically, just like a lot of other stuff. And now it's just like chopping inside these zones. And like the thing you should also consider here on BTC is if you look at the weekly and the monthly, even it's basically printing a monthly bear diff. And my MA is capping it. On the weekly, it's getting capped. On the weekly, it has a bear diff. It basically printed a low time frame bear diff. Well, just now, of course, because well, not low time frame, 3 daily, because it rejected aggressively. So stuff to consider. What's E doing? Bouncing. You see, if you would have shorted height, you would be underwater by 1% now almost. I think you would have shorted the bottom. Like you want to short these weak coins, all of which we discussed last week. What's happening on OI? JD won't be joining us, by the way, because something came up. He messaged me. What happened here? Some idiot tried longing the bottom, got blown out, or panic closed. Now he's longing again. Could be shorts, but maybe we do this low time frame and then reject, like here. Can you short ETH on an inverted chart? To me, if it deviates back. ETH. The inverted chart confuses me, to be honest. Just gonna short it like this. I mean, to me, if we accept back below 4K, then we can go to 3.3K in like one candle. What magic is this turn the chart upside down? For me, it's Alt I believe. Wait, I just doxed my name. It's written wrong as well. Thanks, IT guy. Yeah, Alt I. But yeah, what you can see here on ETH, actually, it's just a super clean downtrend. Until that breaks, it doesn't leg up. But I do still think ETH's probably the alt you want to be longing, and the other ones you want to be shorting. In my opinion. Also still have our useless bids at 32.5, I believe. I think this can, if it reverses, probably reverses pretty aggressively because it likes to do that, and then here it should be capped again, to be honest. It's a very big res. Also, look how clean this tree drive was on it. Will be part of the educational video. It did a tree drive and then a super clean hourly bear div. Could have triggered on the 30-minute too. But yeah, waiting for these fills, to be honest. MA is starting to show up on it. Where else is it listed actually? Maxi has more on it, yeah. Okay, good. I needed this. You want to be aggressive on useless. I think 29 can be a good short as well. But yeah, it's quite volatile, so need to see. Maybe I call it 29 short. If I feel like being impatient. Also take note of Sol ETH being green and the market being weak. Whenever Sol ETH has like these big candles upwards now, we tend to sell off. What's Pengu doing? Did Pengu retest? Like Pengu is an odd one, right? While I would like it to break down here, it's kind of in a very big demand zone, which it must hold. And it's also green on the day still. Like quite a bit of absorption going on here. Like I was looking to short it yesterday, but this might do some fuckery back to like 37 first or something. Because if I remember correctly, Pengu moved quite early in this current uptrend, while the rest of the market was like flat on its ass. So maybe it does something similar again where it legs up from here. Because if it breaks the parabola, then that's good for longs. API 3 got the upbit listing, right? Dave indicator, yeah. Very nice indicator. Yeah, I don't know if I want to blindly short API 3. Although this hourly. Okay, I'm gonna place an alert at 145 and pray it retests. Because Ubit listings are quite notorious for marking tops on stuff for well, good reason. I'll keep an eye on this. These are all shitters. Waves is green. Oh god. What do you think about the BTC chart from June 6, 2017 till September 13, 2017? And that's a long way back. June 6, 2017. On the daily. Okay, I need to do this again. Yeah. Okay, here we are. June 6. Uh, until September 13. And compared to what? May 21, August 19. Okay, wait. I'm scared to. Wait, this won't change that. Yeah, okay, this is fine. Can we open Bitstamp on 2? Yeah, lovely. Let's remove this. It's from another stream. May 21. Wait, no, May 25. That's like what here? Yeah, they look similar. They definitely look similar. I mean, it's the same type of uptrend. Because you had this where the hell is my brush? You had this sort of like, how do I call it? Oh fuck me. I ruined it. TradingView should have an option which allows me to teleport back to like 20 years in time. Back to the future. It had like this thing where it tried to sort of tree drive the bottom and didn't break down and then it legged up. And here we also did that, which was in June, right? During the war or whatever happened. Yeah, it was the war. And then we legged up. And then we made a bear diff here. And here we also did that. And we sold off. And then we had another 3 months. But I don't think we have another 3 months here. But yeah, they look very similar. We'll have to see what happens now, but when do we have Jackson Hole? Because also some de-risking is because of Jackson Hole, right? We always tend to de-risk into that. That's 21st of August till 23rd. So yeah, that's this week. Yeah, that's this week. So probably we sell off into it. Some numbers come out which they made up. We chop around for a bit, and then early September maybe we trend up again for that leg. That's at least what I'm looking at. What's the Jackson Hole thing? I don't know. It's something organized by the Fed. I have no clue what they discussed there whatsoever. You think API 3 can do a move like Omni? I mean, what did Omni do after Upbit? You mean that it has a second leg after the current leg? Maybe. Depends a bit on how much the apes keep shorting it. Because, like, yeah, minus 4%. I don't know. Do I want to get in front of that train? I don't think so. Sentiment is so bearish. Yeah, I think a big part of it is also just because we had that pretty aggressive rejection on BTC. Like volume wise, we didn't really have a climax, I would say. So that's different. But price wise and PA wise, it does feel a little bit local top ish. Well, it is. Basically, we're down 10% or almost. I make more money in a downtrend. Good. Actually, great skill to have, making money in a downtrend. Just means you have a lot more for when the uptrend happens. Granted, you don't get blown out shorting, which you probably won't if you use isolated margin. Okay, what else do we need to discuss? Do you guys have any other charts you want me to look at? I mean, in terms of the top gainers, I think only API is interesting to look at and consider. All the old coins are pumping. Next time the group increases by 10-20% as the next top. I mean, we've been at this member count for a little while, so it took a bit to play. It took a little bit to play out. But you can use it, yeah. I use it, to be honest. I just don't talk about it so much. Where do you see Ina rejecting? Mm. I think we talked about this yesterday that I want to see 64 hold and then hopefully get a move back into 71, 74. And then hopefully you get like the reshort. But Ina is a little bit of a tricky one. Well, maybe not on a weekly basis or intraday basis. This is probably a good short, but if ETH makes new all-time high, if big if, then maybe Ina gets another leg, which like takes it to above 90 cents or whatever. But for now, to keep my answer short, 71 to 74 is probably where I would like to look for a short. And this obvious 64-cent support level is which I want to see bounce. Yeah, I was looking at 114,600 ish here. Just like a retest of with what we just broke down from to confirm it's broken and then lower. Yeah, we haven't had any big liquidation cascades this cycle. I mean, we had, but they're not as frequent. That's what I should say. We did have quite a few lake cascades. It's a complex pullback, exactly, Dave. Super complex. The most complex one. I think I'm gonna place a limit for 109. I'm gonna do that now. Maybe we fill. It's just a sting bit, so don't panic. But yeah. Okay. How do you feel about 95K for the last leg? Sting bit. Well, yeah, and the current and the way the market currently is trading, it feels like a sting bit, to be honest. Because you see, it just moves so slow. But you're right, it's only 4%. Coinbase list useless? Really? What's useless doing? It pumped 4%. BTC goes to 109, it will come to 3700. Yeah. Is this what a Coinbase listing does now? Are people shorting this? Nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. 10% OI increase instantly. What last coin that was listed was Popcat, right? And what happened to Popcat? I mean to remember that this was when Popcat got listed. No, when did it get listed on Coinbase? Let's just check, right? Coinbase, 15 February. Oh, it was here. Yeah. It just continued to trend down. I thought it got listed and then it did like first a small move down and then it ripped upwards. Or was that this on the 14th? I guess so. Yeah, so this could happen to useless. We're gonna keep an eye out on that. Potential shorts. Let me message HBJ. Yeah, I think useless is gonna give us our fills. I think it's gonna give us our fills. Lovely. Oh, it gives more traction than Coinbase. Yeah, because Koreans are fucking degens. They just slam the lever all the way to 5000x. They have degenitis. Yeah, I know a guy who has that horrible disease. Need to check in with him if he recovered from it. I've been living with it for 34 years. Yeah, I got diagnosed last week as well. Finally. Didn't know what was happening with me. But yeah, please give us our useless fills. Thoughts on pump? Um, Bio was the last one. Yeah, but Bio wasn't a meme. I'm mainly talking about like big memes. Um, they got listed like with the same narrative as useless, and I think Bobcat was like the most recent one. Wait, Pump is back below 28? Holy fuck. Uh, I don't know. I feel like the trade was for it to bottom, move back to 40, and then I don't know. I didn't really think about what would happen after it. TA wise, looks fucking awful. Like no real bid on it. Let's redraw our lines. Maybe we see something new. Maybe if this 12-hour closes above 28.5 again, um, you can try a long on it with the stops below that wick back to like 34-ish, 33, and then look for shorts again. Because like you have quite a bit, like this is a difficult area, this whole region. And you don't have enough price basically to. Yeah, I think that's how I would trade it if I were to long it. Let's say this 12-hour close above, you can try a long, otherwise just ignore it and stay flat on it. Yeah, Penguin started looking all right, and it immediately decided to V-reverse. All right. I think I'll end it there, guys. DB is streaming in a minute. To summarize, let me grab see charts. I still do think we're on our way for 112k. Today's daily close will tell us a lot. If we do get a bounce from here, regardless, I'm still looking at 118, 119 for shorts. And apart from that, if you want to long stuff, focus on longing the ETH related stuff like ETH, ENA, Link, and short the weaker coins like Sol and Sol memes. And that's it. So, yeah, hope you all have a wonderful end of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.